Hey Plant Pals, I'm Mike the Kid Gardener, and today is a cooking video, and I'm going to use some of this beautiful purple lady bok choy. I'm going to make a dish for a meatless Monday meal, and the kind of a surprise thing about it is I'm going to use an ingredient that's 6 months old that I grew myself from my summer garden. I'll harvest some of this, and I'll be right back. So this is just part of what I harvested. You see, it's a decent size. This is just a month. I could have let it grow longer and would have got a bigger plant, but I'm hungry now, so I'm gonna eat it. And I want to grow some other things. I've been eating these for a while now because just cut the outside ones out and the inside ones will continue to grow. So if I show it, these inner ones are the new growth and the outside ones are the older growth. So I figure this will make a decent stir fry here. And I've got some mushrooms. Again, it's going to be a meatless meal. I've got my blessed seasoning from Lady V Collections, my Renaissance Grandma, and got some sesame oil, some olive oil to start it on, some tamari, which is a no carb soy sauce. It doesn't, it's just the beans fermented without the, how they make soy sauce is they ferment wheat and beans together and salt. And this cuts out the wheat. And got some garlic. I'm too lazy to chop fresh garlic right now. And I'm going to be growing all this stuff in my spring garden. I've already got some out there right now, so we'll see. Hopefully it'll come up. And then I got a lime for a little acidity. But the thing I'm really excited to show you is this is my Georgia candy roaster squash. And this is 6 months old. This has been sitting in my basement for 6 months. And it's hopefully good. There's no blemishes or rot or anything on there. That was when I first picked it. Yeah, so everything looks great. So I'm going to hopefully open it to have no issues. And I'm going to use some of it. Now, this is a squash you can use savory or sweet. It tastes like sweet potato. And I'm going to use it in a savory dish. And I'm not even be able to use it all. And this is my smallest one. I've got one that are like 4 times the size of this. This was I think this was like the last one off the thing there. So, and it's been curing for 6 months. That's kind of the cool thing about this squash. So I'll be right back. I should have set my tripod up, but I didn't feel like doing it. But look at that color. It's got that very orange sweet potato. Now this was, if you remember back my video when I tried one fresh, it was very pale. So this is curing and it increases the sweetness and the sugars. You can see it's got that. Let me see. I'll give it a taste here. It's not that sweet, but tastes like sweet potato. All right, so I'm gonna chop this up, and I'll be back. Again, I just wanted to show the inside before I do too much chopping. So as you can see, the moisture that's still in there, so it hasn't dried out at all. And again, this has been sitting for 6 months. I probably should have cut it the other way so I didn't cut these seeds in half, but there's a ton of seeds in here that I can save and give out to people later. So yeah, very excited. I've already, like the first few ones I saved the seeds from and actually germinated them inside. And I got one growing inside right now. So yeah, pretty cool. All right, so I'm gonna chop this up and get it separated out. Some for my meal now and some for a future meal. All right, I got everything chopped up. And I still have seeds saved. I got a ton left over here. Let me chop up later and put in a sandwich bags for individual servings. And I'm put this much in, and the bok choy, and some celery. And I'm sweating down the onions and peppers. And I've got the mixture of the the tamari and my own red pepper flakes, and a little bit of honey, and some toasted sesame oil. Your standard Asian seasoning. I'm not putting any cornstarch or anything in there. It'll just have to thicken up on its own. There's probably starch in the squash. And I'm going to get the mushrooms going here soon. I'm going to get ready to cook down. I love mushrooms. My wife does not. So this is not a dish she would eat. However, what I would do for her is I would put these in a food processor and make them really small, or dehydrate them and turn them into a powder and then add them to the dish. And then she would like it. If she loves the taste of mushrooms, she just hates the texture. And a lot of people are that way. So that's one kind of easy tip to remember. So I'm going to get these in here because these are going to take a while to soften up. But I do like my mushrooms to cook down. So that's why I started those first. And then at the very end, I'm going to put the bok choy and the sauce. All right, the squash is cooked down nicely. I'm going to add the Purple Lady bok choy to it, let it cook down a bit, and then I'm going to serve it. Just one thing I do like to add when you cook any kind of a Asian-inspired dish is I've got a half of a lime here, and I like to squeeze some of the lime juice into it at the end to give it that good acidity, which is also a good replacement for salt. But I do have salt in here, plus the tamari. But it is a good tip, though. Use acid to replace salt if you are trying to cut down on salt. Now, typically I eat low to no carb, but this is a special treat meal, so I'm going to have some rice. So I'm going to serve myself up some. So I'm going to do it with the one-handed with the camera here. That looks like a pretty decent serving there. All right, so I'm going to enjoy. So 2 things that I grew. I grew the bok choy, and I grew the candy roaster squash. Oh, and also the peppers, the pepper spice you can see right there. That's from my garden from this summer. Delicious. Meatless Monday.